Ladies and gentlemen, I want to talk to you today about something that has the power to transform your life, your relationships, and your peace of mind. It's a simple yet profound principle. Just let them miss you. Now, I know we live in a world that values constant communication. We're expected to be available at all times, always plugged in, always reachable. But here's the truth, that few people are brave enough to speak. Your absence can be far more powerful than your presence. When you're always around, always available, always giving of yourself, what you're doing is making it easy for others to take you for granted. You become so familiar that you lose your value. But when you create space, when you choose moments to step back and focus on your own growth, your own purpose, something extraordinary happens. They begin to miss you. You see, absence isn't just about physical space. It's about creating a presence that others feel even when you're not there. It's about showing them the value of what you bring into their lives. You don't need to chase after anyone. You don't need to keep proving your worth. The moment you stop chasing and start letting them realize what they're missing, they will come back to you. Why? Because people value what they can't have immediately. They respect what is not always readily available. When you always give and give without allowing them to miss your presence, they don't realize your worth. But when you step away and focus on your own growth, your own vision, suddenly they start to feel the void. Let me ask you, are you giving too much? Are you overextending yourself, constantly sacrificing your time, energy, and peace for others? It's time to recognize that you don't have to be everywhere, doing everything. You are not obligated to be the center of every conversation or the answer to every question. Let your absence serve as a reminder of your worth. True power comes from knowing when to step back and let life unfold. When you are constantly in demand, you rob others of the opportunity to appreciate the value you bring into their lives. But when you pull back, when you choose to focus on your own growth and personal development, they'll start to realize just how much they need you. They'll start to miss you. And in that longing, they will come to respect and value you in ways they never could when you were always around. In the end, it's not about you seeking attention. It's about creating an environment where others recognize the importance of your presence by feeling the absence. Let them miss you. Let them wonder. Let them appreciate you. And when they do, your influence and your value will be undeniable. Remember, you are not defined by your availability. You are defined by your value. And when you allow that value to be recognized, they will always come back. The power of absence is often misunderstood in a world that values constant connectivity, instant responses, and perpetual presence. In many ways, we've been conditioned to believe that to be valued, we must be continuously available. We've been taught to think that the more we give, the more we receive. But the truth is, sometimes the greatest gift you can give someone is your absence. There is an undeniable strength in pulling back and allowing others to miss you. It's not about playing games or being manipulative. Rather, it's a profound realization that your value is amplified by the space you create. When we're constantly around, we become like background noise, always there, but often unnoticed. We lose the ability to truly make an impact because we're not giving others the opportunity to recognize the importance of our presence. When you are constantly available, whether in person, on the phone, or online, you may inadvertently make people feel entitled to your time, energy, and attention. They begin to expect you to be there whenever they need you without any thought or consideration for your own needs. They stop appreciating the depth of your presence because it's always there and it's always accessible. The power of absence isn't just about being physically distant. It's about giving others the opportunity to feel the void when you're not around. The moment you pull away, people begin to notice your absence. And in that space, they begin to realize just how much you contributed to their lives. The absence isn't an act of rejection, it's an act of self-preservation. It's an act of creating an opportunity for others to see you through a different lens, one that isn't clouded by the constant availability of your presence. When you step back, you create room for others to appreciate the value of who you are, what you bring to the table, and how your absence affects their world. In relationships, whether personal or professional, constant availability can sometimes lead to diminishing returns. People start taking you for granted. They begin to expect that you will always be there, answering their calls, responding to their texts, or showing up to every gathering. But by making yourself constantly available, you're actually diminishing the weight of your presence. Your time, your energy, and your attention are all finite resources. When you give too much of them away, without creating the space for others to miss you, you essentially reduce their appreciation for you. They don't realize the value you bring because you're always there, always offering yourself. Taking a step back doesn't mean disappearing entirely or cutting people off. It means being selective about when and how you offer your time and energy. It's about creating boundaries that protect your peace and ensure that you don't give more than you can afford. When you step back, people are forced to confront the reality of what you mean to them. They begin to reflect on the times you were there for them, the moments you shared, and how your absence is now creating a gap in their lives. This reflection can lead to a deeper appreciation, a more genuine respect, and a recognition of your worth that wasn't there when you were constantly giving of yourself. In many ways, absence is a form of self-respect. It's about valuing your time, your energy, and your personal space. It's about recognizing that you don't need to be everywhere, doing everything to be valuable. Your presence has power. And that power is most fully realized when you allow others to experience the impact of your absence. You don't have to chase anyone, and you don't have to prove your worth. When you step back and focus on your own growth and well-being, people begin to realize just how much they depend on you. The void you leave forces them to reflect on the significance of your contributions, both seen and unseen. There's also a spiritual aspect to the power of absence. In many traditions, the idea of silence, withdrawal, and solitude is revered as a path to inner strength and clarity. The absence of external noise allows us to connect with our inner selves, to recognize our own value, and to cultivate the peace and wisdom that come from within. When we're constantly engaged with the world and thus constantly giving of ourselves, we lose sight of who we are and what we truly need. Absence allows us to retreat, to refocus, and to recalibrate our lives so that we can come back stronger, more centered, and more attuned to the needs of those who truly value us. The power of absence also extends to the way we communicate. In today's digital age, we are constantly bombarded with messages, notifications, and demands for our attention. The expectation is that we respond immediately, that we are always available, always ready to engage. But true power comes not from constant communication, but from the ability to control when and how we communicate. By choosing when to respond and when to remain silent, we give ourselves the power to influence situations rather than simply reacting to them. Our absence in a conversation can be just as powerful as our presence, signaling that we are not easily swayed or manipulated by external forces. It's an act of maintaining control over our time and energy rather than allowing others to dictate the terms of our engagement. Furthermore, the power of absence allows for the natural rhythm of life to unfold. Relationships grow stronger when there is space between interactions. People appreciate each other more when they have the chance to miss each other. Absence provides the space for people to grow individually, to reflect on their own experiences, and to come back together with a deeper sense of connection. Constant proximity can create dependence, but absence fosters independence. It encourages people to stand on their own, to find their own strength, and to realize that while your presence is valuable, it is not the only thing that sustains them. When you step away, you also give others the opportunity to rise to the occasion. They are forced to step up, to take responsibility, and to grow in ways that they may not have otherwise. Your absence creates a void that they must fill, and in doing so, they begin to recognize their own potential. This not only strengthens them, but it also deepens the respect they have for you. They see that you are not someone who needs to be constantly involved to be effective. Your impact is felt even when you're not physically present. Of course, this doesn't mean that you should always be absent or that you should use absence as a tool to manipulate others. The power of absence is rooted in the understanding that we all have limits, and we must honor those limits in order to maintain our peace, our energy, and our sense of self. It's about knowing when to step forward and when to step back, when to give and when to withhold. By doing so, you allow others to miss you in the most genuine way possible, and in turn, you create a dynamic of respect and appreciation that elevates your relationships and your impact. Constant availability can also create a dependency in others, and this can work against both our personal growth and theirs. When we are always there to meet the needs of others, we may unintentionally create a dynamic where they rely on us too much. While helping others is important, it is equally important to empower them to grow and solve problems on their own. When we are constantly available, we may prevent others from developing the skills they need to become independent and self-sufficient. Just as we need space to grow, others need the space to figure things out for themselves. By stepping back and giving them the opportunity to solve their own problems, we encourage their personal growth while also making room for our own development. Personal growth also involves learning to prioritize and focus. When we are constantly available, we scatter our attention across many different people, tasks, and obligations. This lack of focus can dilute our efforts and make it difficult to make significant progress in any one area of our lives. Personal growth requires deep focus on our goals, values, and aspirations. We cannot achieve meaningful growth if we are constantly pulled in multiple directions. When we create space for ourselves, when we step back from constant engagement with others, we allow ourselves the time and mental clarity needed to focus on our own development. We can dedicate our energy to the areas of our lives that matter most, whether that's developing new skills, pursuing our passions, or working toward our long-term goals. This focus is essential for personal growth because it allows us to make consistent progress rather than feeling scattered or overwhelmed. In addition to focus, personal growth requires the ability to rest and recharge. We often view rest as something unnecessary or indulgent, especially in a culture that celebrates constant activity. However, rest is a vital component of personal growth. Just as our bodies need sleep to regenerate, our minds and spirits need rest to process and reflect. Constant availability can prevent us from taking the breaks we need to restore our energy and gain new perspectives. When we allow ourselves the time to step back and take a break, we give ourselves the chance to gain clarity and come back stronger. Rest is not a sign of weakness or laziness. It is an essential part of the growth process. It is through rest that we can integrate our experiences, reflect on what we've learned, and gain insights that propel us forward. Without rest, we risk burning out and losing the drive and motivation that fuels our growth. Personal growth also involves the ability to say no and the courage to make difficult decisions. When we are always available, we find it difficult to say no to others. We may fear disappointing them or feel guilty for not meeting their expectations. However, saying no is often necessary for our growth. It requires us to make difficult choices, to prioritize our own needs, and to set boundaries that protect our time and energy. Saying no does not mean that we don't care about others. Rather, it means that we recognize our own needs and understand that in order to grow, we must sometimes put ourselves first. This ability to say no is a form of strength and self-awareness that is vital for personal growth. It allows us to create the space and freedom to focus on our own goals and development without being constantly pulled in different directions. Another crucial aspect of personal growth that is stifled by constant availability is the ability to learn from failure. Growth requires failure. Without it, we cannot improve. However, constant engagement with others and meeting their demands can create a sense of urgency and pressure that does not leave room for failure. When we are always available, we may feel compelled to succeed on every front, to meet every expectation, and to avoid mistakes. This fear of failure can prevent us from taking risks, trying new things, and stepping outside of our comfort zones. Growth requires experimentation, and experimentation requires the willingness to fail. When we step back from the constant cycle of availability and take time to reflect on our failures, we can learn from them and use them as stepping stones toward improvement. Lastly, personal growth involves the courage to step into the unknown, to explore new opportunities, and to take risks. Constant availability can tether us to the known, to the routine, and to the expectations of others. When we are always there for others, we may become too comfortable in our roles, too reliant on the familiar. Personal growth requires us to challenge ourselves, to leave the comfort zone, and to embrace new experiences that push us toward our potential. Distance from others can provide the necessary space for us to explore new opportunities, to seek out new challenges, and to grow in ways that we would not have been able to do if we remain constantly available. In conclusion, personal growth requires more than just constant availability. It requires the ability to step back, to set boundaries, to rest, to reflect, and to prioritize our own development. While being available to others is important, it is equally important to create space for ourselves to grow. Personal growth emerges not from the constant pressure to be present for others, but from the moments of absence, reflection, and focus on our own journey. By learning to prioritize ourselves, we make room for the growth that is necessary to become the best version of ourselves. Respect and appreciation are fundamental to the growth of any relationship, community, or organization. In their absence, conflicts arise, communication breaks down, and collaboration falters. Yet the true power of respect and appreciation goes beyond simply acknowledging someone's presence or actions. It involves understanding their worth, valuing their unique qualities, and cultivating an environment where these virtues are reciprocated. The act of creating respect and appreciation isn't something that can be forced or manufactured. Rather, it is nurtured through consistent actions, genuine care, and authentic acknowledgement of the contributions that others make. These qualities must be developed from within, cultivated through mindfulness, and extended outward in a way that fosters trust, goodwill, and unity. In a world that often emphasizes achievement, status, and material gain, it is easy to overlook the importance of fostering an environment where respect and appreciation thrive. We live in a society where many are measured by their output, their productivity, or their ability to climb the social ladder. In such an environment, the human element can often be overlooked. Yet, When respect and appreciation are present in our interactions, it changes the dynamic of how we communicate and collaborate with others. It elevates the conversation, turning simple exchanges into meaningful connections. It enhances trust and facilitates open communication, because when people feel respected, they are more likely to speak honestly, share ideas, and offer support. The process of creating respect begins with self-respect. Without a sense of self-worth, it becomes difficult to extend genuine respect to others. Self-respect is a reflection of how we view our own value, and this perception impacts how we engage with the world. When we respect ourselves, we acknowledge our strengths and weaknesses, our accomplishments and our failures. We are kind to ourselves, and we do not tolerate mistreatment, whether from others or from our own inner critic. Cultivating self-respect allows us to create an internal foundation upon which respect for others can be built. We do not have to compromise our own sense of dignity to uplift others. Rather, by respecting ourselves, we are able to genuinely value the humanity of those around us. Creating an atmosphere of respect in any environment, whether in the workplace, at home, or within social circles, begins with setting clear boundaries. Boundaries communicate to others how we expect to be treated. They are an essential element in fostering an environment of mutual respect, because they prevent mistreatment and reinforce our self-worth. When we set boundaries, we are signaling that we value ourselves enough to protect our time, energy, and emotions. This creates a space where others can also feel safe, valued, and respected. Boundaries are not only about protecting ourselves, they are also a form of teaching others how to treat us. Respect is not given on demand, it is earned. And it begins with how we allow ourselves to be treated. In turn, when others see that we are clear about our boundaries, they are more likely to respect the boundaries they set for themselves as well. At the heart of respect is active listening. Many conflicts arise not because of differing opinions or conflicting desires, but because people feel unheard. Active listening is the process of genuinely paying attention to what someone else is saying without the intention to interrupt or impose our own thoughts. It involves being fully present in the moment, acknowledging the emotions and ideas of the speaker, and responding thoughtfully. When we listen actively, we signal that we value the other person's perspective. We acknowledge their feelings, validate their experiences, and show that their thoughts matter. Active listening fosters an atmosphere of respect because it creates space for others to express themselves freely. It also leads to greater understanding, which in turn nurtures trust and collaboration. Respect also involves empathy, the ability to understand and share the feelings of others. When we take the time to walk in someone else's shoes, we are better able to appreciate their experiences, struggles, and joys. Empathy is a powerful tool for building respect because it allows us to connect with others on a human level. It softens our judgments and helps us to see people for who they truly are, beyond their actions or mistakes. Empathy encourages us to recognize that everyone has their own story, their own challenges, and their own dreams. When we approach others with empathy, we foster a sense of understanding and acceptance, which naturally leads to mutual respect. Along with empathy, appreciation plays a crucial role in creating respect. Appreciation is about acknowledging the value that someone brings into our lives, whether through their actions, presence, or contributions. It is about taking the time to notice and express gratitude for the little things as well as the big accomplishments. Appreciation is often seen as a simple gesture, but its impact is profound. When people feel appreciated, they feel valued. This sense of value motivates them to continue contributing, to engage more deeply, and to form stronger bonds with others. Appreciation is not limited to giving compliments or saying thank you. It involves recognizing the uniqueness of each individual and the gifts they bring to the table. By expressing appreciation regularly, we create a culture where people feel seen, heard, and valued. While appreciation is powerful, it must be authentic to be effective. Empty praise or insincere gratitude can feel patronizing or superficial. Genuine appreciation requires that we recognize the effort and intention behind someone's actions rather than just the outcome. It requires us to look beyond the surface and to acknowledge the value of the individual. When appreciation is genuine, it fosters trust and respect. People can tell when they are being appreciated for who they truly are, and this recognition builds their confidence and deepens their commitment to contributing. On the other hand, when appreciation is lacking, people may begin to feel undervalued, disconnected, or resentful. Without respect and appreciation, relationships can become strained and collaboration becomes difficult. Creating an environment where respect and appreciation flourish also requires consistent behavior. It is not enough to offer respect or appreciation in occasional moments of generosity. It must be woven into the fabric of our daily interactions. Consistency in how we treat others reinforces the culture we are trying to build. Trials also foster empathy and compassion, qualities that are essential for personal growth and transformation. When we go through difficult times, we gain a first-hand understanding of what it feels like to struggle, to face loss, to feel vulnerable. This understanding makes us more compassionate toward others who may be experiencing similar challenges. We become less quick to judge, more willing to listen, and more eager to extend a helping hand. This empathy is one of the gifts that trials bestow upon us, a reminder that we are all connected, that we share common experiences of pain and joy, and that we have a responsibility to support one another. Through our own trials, we become better equipped to serve others, to offer comfort, and to be a source of strength for those who need it. Another crucial aspect of transformation through trials is the development of inner strength. In times of difficulty, we often discover that we are capable of more than we initially believed. The challenges that seemed insurmountable at first gradually become manageable as we adapt and find new ways to cope. Each trial teaches us a lesson, helping us build a foundation of resilience and self-confidence. Over time, we begin to trust in our ability to overcome adversity, knowing that we have faced challenges before and emerged stronger. This inner strength is invaluable as it prepares us for future trials, enabling us to approach life's uncertainties with courage and determination. Transformation through trials also deepens our sense of purpose. When we are confronted with hardship, we are forced to consider what we truly want out of life, what goals are worth pursuing, and what values are worth holding on to. Trials strip away the superficial and bring us face to face with our core beliefs and aspirations. This process of introspection allows us to clarify our purpose, to set meaningful intentions, and to align our actions with our values. We begin to live with greater authenticity, no longer swayed by societal expectations or external pressures. Instead, we become guided by an inner sense of purpose, a vision that is shaped by our experiences and strengthened by our resilience. Through trials, we also learn to appreciate the process of growth itself. Transformation is rarely easy or comfortable. It often involves pain, sacrifice, and uncertainty. But as we move through this process, we begin to see the beauty in the journey. We start to value the lessons we've learned, the strength we've gained, and the person we've become. This appreciation for growth allows us to embrace future challenges with a sense of curiosity and openness. Instead of fearing hardship, we begin to see it as an opportunity for transformation, a chance to become more of who we are meant to be. In addition, trials remind us of the importance of hope. In times of struggle, hope is often the force that keeps us moving forward, even when the path is unclear. Hope is the belief that better days are ahead, that our efforts are not in vain, and that we have the strength to overcome whatever challenges come our way. This hope is a powerful motivator, inspiring us to keep going even when we feel like giving up. It is a reminder that transformation is possible, that we are capable of change, and that our lives have meaning beyond the present moment. The experience of transformation through trials is also deeply humbling. When we face hardship, we come to realize that we are not invincible, that we may have limitations, and that we are vulnerable. This humility is essential as it helps us approach life with a sense of gratitude and respect. We begin to appreciate the simple joys, the small victories, and the support of those around us. This humility allows us to connect more deeply with others, to let go of ego, and to approach life with a sense of reverence and awe. It teaches us that life is a gift, one that is precious and worth cherishing even in times of difficulty. Through transformation, trials also reveal the power of resilience. Resilience is the ability to bounce back, to recover, and to continue moving forward despite adversity. Each trial strengthens our resilience, teaching us how to navigate setbacks with grace and determination. Over time, we become more adaptable, more resourceful, and more confident in our ability to handle whatever life throws our way. This resilience is a testament to the human spirit, a reminder that we are capable of enduring hardship and that our capacity for growth is limitless. Ultimately, transformation through trials is a journey of self-discovery. It is an opportunity to learn more about who we are, what we believe, and what we are capable of. Trials reveal our true character, stripping away pretense and showing us the strength, compassion, and wisdom that reside within us. Through this process, we come to understand that we are more than our circumstances, that our worth is not defined by external success or failure, and that our potential for growth is boundless. Transformation through trials is a reminder that life is a continual process of becoming, a journey that is shaped by both joy and sorrow, triumph and hardship. It teaches us that each experience, no matter how challenging, has something to offer, a lesson to impart, or a strength to impart, or a strength to develop. Through trials, we learn to trust in the process, to believe in our own resilience, and to embrace the journey of growth with courage and gratitude. It is this journey that shapes us, refines us, and ultimately brings us closer to the person we are meant to be.